Hello and welcome on 101 Rush. Before we start, subscribe and like 101, and hit the bell icon, so you never miss a upload from us. So you guys ever think, what if you bang your head on wall? Snake can predict earthquake. There are many more, so let's stay with me and know about these interesting facts. Banging your head against a wall for 1 hour burns 150 calories. Sounds strange? Yes it is. Alternatively, you can walk your dog for 45 minutes, which also burns 150 calories. I think it is much less painful. Guinea pig. In Switzerland, it is illegal to own just one guinea pig. This is because guinea pigs are social animals, and they are considered victims of abuse if they are alone. Why isn't this a law everywhere? Snakes and earthquakes. Snakes can help predict earthquakes. Yes, it is true. Snakes can predict earthquakes, can sense a coming earthquake from 75 miles away, 121 kilometers, up to 5 days before it happens. Chocolate milk. 7 of American adults believe that chocolate milk comes from brown cows. Yes, really, they believe. You guys are thinking 7 doesn't sound like a lot, but that actually works out at 16.4 million American adults. Yes, 16.4 million adults. It sounds like a lot now, right? Did you think ever why bananas are curvy? Bananas are curved because they grow towards the sun. Interesting, it is because bananas go through a process called negative geotropism. Instead of growing towards the ground, they start growing towards the sun. Polar bears. Polar bears could eat as many as 86 penguins in a single sitting. Poor little penguins. Yes, poor but lucky as well. Yes, penguins a bit lucky. Polar bears do not eat penguins, because polar bears live in the Arctic region, North Pole, while penguins live in Antarctica and in the Southern Hemisphere. A lion's roar. A lion's roar can be heard from 5 miles away. To be more specific, a lion can roar as loud as 114 decibels, which is roughly 25 times louder than a gas-powered lawnmower. Hot air balloon. Did you know, guys, who were the first fly in hot air balloon? A sheep, a duck and a rooster. Yes, guys, these 3 were the first passengers in a hot air balloon. In 1783, the first hot air balloon was launched carrying a sheep, duck, and a rooster. The flight lasted for 8 minutes before landing safely with its passengers. Veins of a blue whale. A small child could swim through the veins of a blue whale. If you consider how large a blue whale's heart is the size of a small car, it's no surprise that a small child, around 3 to 4 years old, could swim through the massive veins of a blue whale. High heels. High heels were originally men's shoes. High heels came into circulation on the shoe circuit in roughly 10 BC. They were worn by men of the Persian cavalry to help their boots stay in their stirrups when riding horses. Pirates' earrings. Pirates wore earrings because they believed it improved their eyesight. Along with many other reasons due to superstitions, they thought it protected them from bad eyesight, or even blindness, seasickness, and drowning. 4 Corners of United States. The 4 Corners is the only spot in the US where you can stand in 4 states at once: Utah, Colorado, Arizona and New Mexico. Introducing Jonathan. The oldest known living land animal is a tortoise named Jonathan, who is 187 years old. 5 years prior to the coronation of Queen Victoria, he was born in 1832 and has lived on the island of St. Helena in the Atlantic Ocean since 1882. Roller coaster. The kidney stone passer. After multiple people reported they had passed a kidney stone while riding Big Thunder Mountain Railroad ride, a research team from Michigan State University decided to investigate the phenomena in 2016. They conducted tests with a model kidney, and found that there was a 64% kidney stone pass rate for those seated in the rear of the Thunder Mountain ride. Bee hummingbirds. Hummingbirds are known for being itty-bitty creatures, but bee hummingbirds are the teeniest versions of these shockingly tiny flyers. An adult bee hummingbird rarely grows longer than 61 millimeters long. They are known as a bee hummingbird as they are scarcely bigger than a bumblebee. They're actually the smallest bird in the world. Guys, do you ever know our brain works as radio transmitter? Let's do an experiment. If you point your car keys to your head, it increases the remote signal range. This works by using your brain to act as a radio transmitter. Apple paid a couple $1.7 million for their plot of land, which was only worth $181,700. Yes, it is true, while Apple was building a huge data center in the middle of North Carolina, they wanted to occupy the area of a couple that lived there for 34 years. When the couple refused to leave, Apple paid them $1.7 million for their land. Sea lions can dance to a beat. There are only two mammals on Earth with the proven ability to move their bodies in time with an external beat: humans and sea lions. When researchers at the University of Santa Cruz rescued a stranded sea lion in 2013, they found that she was very smart, and she was even able to learn how to dance. Though parrots can also keep a rhythm, it was previously thought that only animals capable of complex vocal learning could do this. Rolls-Royce unveiled a one-off custom build called the Sweptail. At a reported price of nearly $13 million, it is believed to be the most expensive new car ever commissioned. However, even if you have that kind of dough lying around, you won't be able to buy it. Only one was made, and it was custom built from the ground up according to the buyer's specifications. Underwater rugby. There is an underwater version of rugby, unsurprisingly called underwater rugby. During a match, two teams try to score a negatively buoyant ball, filled with salt water, into the opponent's goal at the bottom of a swimming pool. It originated from within the physical fitness training regime existing in German diving clubs during the early 1960s, and has little in common with rugby football, except for the name. When mice live in the wild, they typically only live for about 6 months. This is mostly due to the fact that they are a good source of food for other animals. However, in a controlled environment like being kept as a pet, they can live up to 2 years. Police use geese. You've heard of police dogs, but not police geese. Police in rural parts of China's Xinjiang province are no longer turning to dogs to stand guard at police stations at night. They are using geese instead. They are alert animals and, as you probably know, can create a lot of noise and commotion, which creative Chinese law enforcement officers are taking advantage of. Longest wedding veil. Maria Paraskeva, a bride from Cyprus, has achieved her lifelong dream after creating the world's longest wedding veil in preparation for her wedding. The seemingly never-ending lace veil measured 6,962.6 meters, in Larnaca, Cyprus, on the 14th of August 2018. That's the same length as 63.5 American football fields. Town under the rock. Setenil de las Bodegas is a town, pueblo, and municipality in the province of Cadiz, Spain, famous for its dwellings built into rock overhangs above the Rio Guadalquivir. Many of this tiny town's 3,000 residents live and work and play in a gorge beneath a huge rocky outcropping, where homes are built right into the rock. Cow kills peoples. Cows kill more Americans each year than sharks do. You've seen Jaws. You know sharks can be deadly. But in reality, they don't kill very many people each year. There are approximately 5 deaths caused by sharks annually, while horses kill about 20 people a year and cows kill about 22. Ever heard of Brown Friday? Why plumbers field so many service calls the day after Thanksgiving? While Black Friday may be a hectic day for retailers, it is also the busiest day of the year for plumbers. That is why they call it Brown Friday. But before you laugh, it's not just because of clogged toilets, clogged drains and broken garbage disposals as well. Crows not only hold grudges, they tell their friends and family about them. In 2010, researchers in Seattle found that formerly captured crows were able to remember the face of their abductor even years after the incident. Once they identified the suspect in question, they would threaten him by diving down and swarming the person that they had felt threatened by years before. An apple, potato, and onion all taste the same if you eat them with your nose plugged. It is frequently quoted that upwards of 80% of our taste is made up by smell. So if you plug your nose and cover your eyes, the taste between an apple and onion should be indistinguishable. The average moderately active person takes around 7,500 steps per day. If you maintain that daily average and live until 80 years of age, you'll have walked about 216,262,500 steps in your lifetime. Doing the math, the average person with the average stride living until 80 will walk a distance of around 110,000 miles. Which is the equivalent of walking about 5 times around the Earth.